Across the wide and listening dark, the elder races whispered warnings to their young. They spoke of a people born on a small blue world around a modest star, a people who should have stayed quiet and careful, a people who did not the galaxy had known. Conquerors before, and it had known geniuses, and it had known survivors. What it had not known was a species that mixed stubborn hope with reckless courage and endless patience. The elders called them the terrible species not for cruelty but for persistence. Once humans decided to stand, they did not sit again. Long before the wider galaxy noticed them, humans had already learned to fear the sky. Their own world taught them storms and quakes and cold nights. Their history taught them loss and rebuilding. By the time their first ships touched the dark, they carried an old habit of fixing what was broken and protecting what was small. The first contact did not happen with fanfare. A silent probe from a trade guild drifted into the outer edge of human space. It watched cities glow and fade with the planet turn. It measured radio noise and weapon tests and music. The report it sent back was cautious, technologically uneven, socially chaotic, emotionally intense. The guild voted to observe. Only the elders agreed, let the terrible species burn itself out. But humans did not burn out. They adapted. Within a few cycles. They learned they were not alone. Signals echoed back to them with structure and intent. Humans answered with curiosity instead of fear. Their first ambassadors carried no weapons, only translators and images of their world. Oceans, forests, children, laughter, graves, and stars. Some races welcomed them with distance, some closed borders. One did not. The Kel Dominion saw humans as easy ground. The terrible species had no unified fleet, no ancient shields, no gene-cast armies. The Dominion struck a mining outpost at the edge of human reach. They expected surrender. What they received was silence then. The outpost exploded, taking 3 Dominion ships with it. The miners had rewired their drills into traps. They sent one message before the blast. We are still here. The elders leaned closer. The terrible species had teeth. Human fleets did not charge into battle singing victory. They arrived late and tired and prepared. They learned enemy patterns faster than expected. They lost ships and crews and kept moving. Every defeat fed the next. Design. A human captain named Alan watched the wreckage of a colony station drift like ash. He had grown up under open sky and learned engines from broken tractors. Now he commanded a patched cruiser held together by stubborn hands. He did not shout orders. He spoke calmly, and listened. Across from him sat Mira, a systems mind who rewrote code like poetry. She saw paths where others saw walls. When Dominion jammers cut their sensors, she smiled and opened old civilian bands. Weather channels, emergency loops, forgotten tech. The enemy never thought to guard them. The battle turned not. Because humans were stronger, because they were flexible. Word spread through the galaxy, do not corner humans. They dig. As the war dragged on, other races watched with growing unease. Humans offered aid. Even while under fire, they repaired stations belonging. 2 strangers, they shared food cultures, stories. They mourned alien dead with the same rituals as their own. This confused the elders. Terrible did not mean heartless. Say, ceasefire was proposed by neutral worlds. The Dominion laughed. They launched a final push toward the human core. What they found was not a wall of ships. It was a web. Human engineers had seeded space with small machines. Nothing impressive. Old metal smart nets, cooperative minds. When Dominion fleets entered the region, the machines woke. They shared data, blocked paths, blinded weapons. They sacrificed themselves without hesitation. Human ships moved through the chaos like swimmers in familiar water. Not perfect, not clean, effective. The Dominion broke after the war. The elders finally spoke directly to humanity. An ancient voice addressed the human council. You are dangerous. Alan stood among farmers, scientists, artists, pilots. He answered simply, we know the. An elder asked why humans fought so hard for space that was not theirs. For allies they barely knew, for principles that cost them blood. A human named Owen spoke then. Because we remember being alone. Silence followed. Then something rare, respect. The galaxy adjusted. Humans became mediators, builders, explorers. They still fought when needed but preferred repair. They carried scars and lessons. They built schools beside shipyards. They argued loudly and hugged harder. The name terrible species remained, but its meaning changed. Terrible because they would not accept extinction. Terrible because they learned too fast. Terrible because when darkness came, they lit candles and invited others to share the lighting. Quiet corners of space, children of many worlds listened to human stories not of conquest, but of getting back up. Not of purity, but of choice sand. When new threats arose, as they always do, the galaxy did not ask who would stand. It already knew humans would be there, still here.